strong in faith.
Faith can move mountains. Radio Maria, 91.3 FM.
The voice of truth.
Still everyone got issues, and we did here. If you are just joining us, it's still 91.3 FM, Radio Nigeria-Abuja. And before we went on that quick break, we were still talking about menopause, and we have our very, very special and important guest with us, Sarah Ifeanyi Chukwu. And so far so good, she has been doing a very good job, explaining to us in layman language how all of us could understand what this matter is about and how very important. And of course, just Delphine is doing a very good job with all her beautiful questions. I also want to tell us that Flaming Hearts is in the house. They have been here, and of course, as you know, they are the physical arm of this. The umbrella with which everyone got issues operates. So we want to say thank you, Flaming Heart, for the things you do. Esther, you are welcome. I know your name was not called from the beginning, but it's important to do that. All right, Delphine.
All right, so like she said, everyone's got issues, and the topic has been menopause. Now we're looking at, she has already broken it down into the physical.
On the lighter note, that person is what I don't understand.
Men,
pause.
Men,
pause.
Is that person I don't understand?
Very important.
Is there a continuation? Because if there is a pause.
No, that's actually a very important question.
But
it's part of our questions.
If there is a pause,
there should be a continuation somewhere. Yeah, I think she'll tell us
continuation of life. Because for me, on the lighter note still, I'm thinking it's more like, okay, your life paused at some point, your active life, your reproductive life paused, and then it's a time for you to gather yourself and continue the life. So that pause.
Maybe that's what happened. That's what happened to Sarah.
That man. Oh!
Yeah.
Which Sarah?
Sarah in the Bible.
That meno actually signifies menstruation.
Yes.
So menstruation
pause.
So life continues
after that.
Yes.
So you see, so that was
men.
No, we're hoping that,
No, they even have theirs. It's called andropause.
You see?
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll put it somewhere.
You see?
Yeah, we'll talk about
So
that
we'll come to that side.
Yeah, and then perhaps he will have more to tell us.
You say now
andropause.
You see?
Andy.
So
Andy.
andropause.
And life continues after that.
Okay. And so looking at menopause, you've already ruled out some of the effects. You talked about the emotional or psychological as well as the physical effects and all of that. So can you now tell us how it actually affects a person's life and how one can prepare for this? Because trust me, I'm getting a bit scared.
Okay.
Don't be.
Well, when you get to that bridge, you cross it. And that's why we have programs like this to educate you and enlighten you on issues like this. So it shouldn't catch you unawares. So some of the challenges people in menopause experience is mood swings. They are easily irritable. They get angry. Any little thing, just triggers them, and they get upset. So you see some people avoiding their parents, avoiding their sister. My sister too get wahala. You don't know that what is disturbing her is even far greater than what you think is wahala. Sometimes they can't even control it because they are confused on what is happening to their body. So they have sudden emotional outbursts. And some people slide into depression. And that's why you need to have supportive friends. You need to have people you talk to, so that when you have the support system, so that when all of this is happening, you have people of like minds, people of your age grade that you can say, my friend, see what I'm going through, and this one says it's not peculiar to you. Do you know yesterday this happened to me and all that? It makes you feel like it's not you are not dying. Alone. Yes, you are not alone. And then you get anxious, heightened worry and nervousness, and all that. And then you start having memory issues, like you mentioned earlier, the brain fog, So you start forgetting things easily. You are holding your car keys and you
And
are
then
asking,
confusion.
Where's my car
yes,
key?
and then you are asking, where's my car? I say, mommy, you are holding. Say, oh, not again. So some people feel at that point like, so this is it. I'm getting old. And they start feeling like, oh, I'm becoming useless. But if you talk to your healthcare practitioner, talk to support groups, or just talk to people generally, and then find the right help for yourself. And then the one that affects most people is decreased libido. So this is where the
Very
men come in.
important.
Very, very
Now
important.
I need to move
the
because
camera close.
the men that's some men don't understand this, and I'm glad that everyone got issues. It's not for just it's not a program for women alone.
Yeah.
I believe we have male listeners as well.
Definitely.
So when you see that your wife has gotten to that age, 40, 45, and then she's no longer interested as she used to be, don't think she just wants to snub you. It's just a biological process that is going on in her body. So all you need to do is to be there for her and support her. So we talked
So do you take the romance completely off the table?
Oh,
or?
come on. No, you can't do that
Okay,
now. What are they doing together?
Exactly.
No.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
take it off. You look for ways to cope. For instance, get out of the house, start dating again, have time for yourself. The kids are all grown up and all that. It's interesting. Start going out more often.
Okay.
Take interest in hobbies, things that will make you and your spouse spend more time together. And then I mentioned earlier about the vaginal dryness.
Yeah.
So you get to use things like lubricants more, so that it's easier to bear the pain that comes with the dryness. So that's it.
Wonderful. I had she's late now, a friend of mine back then. She, do you know, at 36, yeah, 30, 35, 36, it came like a joke, her period ceased. And of course, with everything that went on with her about that time, before we know, she has already hit menopause. Incidentally, she died without a child. Yeah, but she never saw her menses ever again. And it's happening in these times. In these are times, you see people slide into that quite very early. I'm talking about from 25, which is supposed to be, yes, they said some that are quick from 25, there's already something, they are started having symptoms, hormonal imbalances, blah, 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 and it keeps going on, and it's taking different courses and different dimensions. So is it about our lifestyle that this thing is catching in so quickly, or what is it about that young people are experiencing this earlier than our parents did back then? Because back then, a woman 60 years, she's still giving birth. So now, what is it that is not right? Is it the food?
Yes.
Yeah, or are there factors again that
Yes,
could influence that?
diet plays a large role in that, because you find out these days we prefer pizza to cucumber.
Organic food.
So we take a lot of processed foods these days. Everybody wants to, I don't want to mention names, but we all know the kind of things we are not supposed to be eating that are overly processed, instead of going for organic foods. And now, even coming to the organic food, most of these foods are laced with fertilizers. We don't allow them their normal process. So we alter all of these things.
Because the population is so much, so
Yes, that's
GMOs
right.
are everywhere.
Yes.
We get to find a way of growing these things to be sufficient
That's
for
right,
all of us. I
Mm-hmm.
think that is it.
And then a sedentary lifestyle. And some young people don't want to even work out.
Yes.
Everybody just sits in front
In
of
fact,
a
to
phone
work,
and a
they
laptop.
say it's at home these days.
Exactly.
Work from
People
home.
work
Virtual
from
jobs,
remote jobs and all of that.
Jobs,
So those activities, and then you also find out that onset of menarche, that is your first period, starts earlier than usual. We have what we call precocious puberty, where these children, as from 7, 8, they are already having their periods. So such
And
a
that's so
person,
strange.
well, that's what's
How do you
happening
manage a
now.
7, 8-year-old girl?
So
Already.
Actually,
So we start educating
Yeah.
them.
No,
early.
in this case, in this,
Mr. David is so
I'm
confused.
only
That means,
listening.
you
I'm
know,
only
No,
the children,
listen,
they come
yes,
now.
exactly.
Yeah, so you get to know all these things.
So today I'm a
No, but if you have a
passenger.
question, you can ask. I mean,
No. On this taxi, I'll be on this car we are in. I'm just a passenger, so I'm taking notes.
Not well, because your wife, at least, you know your mother's side, but your wife, they come and your children.
So we start educating them early. We go to schools,
Yeah.
primary schools, and teach them early that this is what could happen to you at this stage and all that. So that precocious puberty too could also be the reason why this happens early. Come on, your ovaries started functioning as early as 8 years
8
old.
years old. So what do you expect?
What do you expect from such ovaries?
Before 30 now,
Before
the
30,
kid
they
not
are
tired.
tired.
They want pack up.
They want to go and
They
rest.
don't do their like catering service when you don't serve food.
so I think we should
you
actually
pack up.
find a day and talk about that as well.
Seriously.
Like if you have something like that, what would be the best way to manage your life? So that
Right.
maybe at 30, early 30s, you're not talking about packing up and you don't have children. What would be the best solution to that? Or
Early.
thank you. You know
Early.
those kind of things.
Freeze your eggs early. It's true. In your most reproductive years, you can freeze your eggs, and when you need them, you go get them. and use. But
So,
in this
would
part,
you recommend having a very good relationship with a gynecologist as a woman?
your gynecologist should be
Your
your best friend.
best
You know, I
friend.
mentioned it earlier that don't be far from your doctor. Yes, don't be far from your
Very,
doctor.
very true.
Yes, because there's so much information flying around, especially this era of social media.
Internet, yeah.
You know, people want to likes and views and all of that, and they put out all sorts of false information out there. But when you speak to your doctor gives you your tailor-made information. That information out there is just general information, but when you talk to your doctor, it's tailor-made for you. There are specific tests they will carry out for you, and you know everything will be person specific. But if you just go online and type in your symptoms, you will see what you are not even
Who will give you the worst case
It's
scenario?
important to lay emphasis on medical doctor.
Yes.
Because nowadays you can go to your native doctor now and
Yes, please.
It's very true.
I'll be asking what's wrong.
After all,
And
they
they always have
solutions.
They always have
Seriously.
solutions. So it's
Medicine will work for 10 days.
Exactly, because a lot of people
We know those age.
are exactly a lot of people are even running around prayer houses and spiritual houses, thinking they've
something
been
is wrong
attacked.
with
Yes.
them. I say village people say
Exactly,
no.
they just
pursue
say
them.
village people are
You know,
struck
the
again.
demons of their fathers and
Yes,
mothers
yes.
are after their lives.
Exactly,
In
not
fact, their
knowing,
destiny is over.
not knowing
but the
that.
person chasing you can be in town.
That's the funniest thing, you
The
know.
person chasing you can be in
the
town.
village.
It could come from the
But
internet.
everything
even.
is that village. What has village
I don't
really
know.
done to people?
I saw this joke on the internet where they say that from January to November, village people are pursuing you, but in December you carry your bag
go
and
and
go to them.
go
Is it to finish the work they
Let them finish
started,
you.
or is it what? Why are you going to the village? I mean, we've been talking this, and we were also engrossed, enjoying the whole this. We forgot to open our lines, you know, so that others can join. I believe a lot of people are now teaming with a lot of Christians. They should be asking or even putting, you know, make their contributions as it is. So to join in and make your contributions, please just dial 081 084 47518. I take that again, it's 081 084 47518, and we have a caller on the line. Hello, I said it.
Hi,
Yes, good evening.
Happy New Year. You're welcome.
Away, yeah. Hi. Yes, yes, true. Manage her, yes. You are
Okay,
welcome.
you're welcome.
Seriously, it's very important. Of course, the real reason, because someone called for this and said,
Yeah.
look, a lot of people, especially in this side of the world, there are things like this we dodge from, talking about. And I don't understand. Knowledge is power. Education, you know what that does. If you have certain information, look, she just called in and said, oh, they didn't know this, what their mother is going through. And I can imagine how alone she must have been feeling with everyone running away from her, and she's feeling alone. She has kids and maybe her loved ones who should surround her this time that she's not understanding what's going on with her life. And everybody is running
And that could
because
actually have even
another
adverse
yes
effects.
now
Some
mental,
people have even tagged their mothers
witches at
and
this point.
abandoned them because they don't know what their mother is going through.
Very
And
true.
instead of them to take her to the hospital, now let me even chip this in. Some people are predisposed to mental illnesses.
True.
So when
during this period,
yes, they maybe genetically,
it
yes,
triggers.
yes, they are predisposed. So this will trigger
That situation.
that's for them. So they also need to see a psychiatrist, yes, depending on yes. That's why you should be close to your doctor, not your native doctor.
Emphasis on medical doctor.
Executive native doctor, because some are living in mansions now. No, you see that
Exactly,
with apps. Exactly.
So me, I'll ask a question.
Finally.
Just
At
the
last.
way, just the way, because the last thing you said was about very early menses,
Yes.
like from 7 years.
Yes.
So just like you have early menses, is there also a chance of you having like very delayed or late menopause?
Yes, some of these things are genetics. Some of these things are genetics. So some people don't. Some people maybe as late as maybe 55. You still see them battling with buying of parts, and then they are like, this thing,
true.
I don't want you anymore.
Yes,
go away.
go.
Some families are more fertile than others, so their reproductive years could be a lot longer.
Stretched.
Yes. So.
Alright, so can we finally really look at how to cope with this stage of life, so that those around us, we can know how to handle them best, and those who are going into it can also be well prepared.
Okay. So coping with menopause involves a lot of lifestyle changes. Eating healthy, eating green. Instead of all these processed foods and all that. Take a lot of fruits, lots of vegetables, and then at some point you may need multivitamins to supplement for. And then calcium, food rich in calcium, vitamin D to support bone health. I don't know if I mentioned earlier that your bones are more fragile. Yes,
Yeah, you mentioned,
yes.
So your bones become light.
Anything can happen. It will break.
So you are more prone to issues like osteoporosis and myelitis and all of that. So you need foods rich in calcium and vitamin D to support your bone health. And then limit caffeine, alcohol, and spicy foods could actually trigger hot flashes. So you limit your spicy food intake.
I pitied her. She was in the train. This woman was finding herself all through. The place, all of us were just like, okay, everybody was fine. But you understand. And I remember some time ago, someone had this conversation with me. She said at some point she didn't know what was going on with her. Okay, this is another person, apart from the other one that said she felt like, she said she didn't understand what was going on with her. That she would be having a production meeting with her boss, and then the next thing she's breaking into some kind of sweat that she can't begin to understand, and she's feeling so uncomfortable. At that time she's just disorganized within her, and mistakes are happening, and the boss is like, are you okay? Is everything? And as at that time that she did not understand what was going on, but that she now kept getting worried. Is something wrong with me? Do I have any health disease? Do I have any disease that I don't know that is happening to me right now? But that, some other person, she talked to another person who told her that, have you checked out this? And started asking questions. Only then she understood what was happening with her. And that if she knew this from beginning, it would have helped